Bless the Lord for this morning, the fourth day of the month of August 2021. We are still on the topic substance, shadow, and salvation. Substance, shadow, and salvation. As at the last series of yesterday, we talked about one of the negative effects of having the scriptures, applied wrongly, with reference to the issue of the interplay that exists between the shadow and substance. We're talking about the ceremonial law and the conventional laws. And we talked about the ceremonial laws and the rituals inherent in these laws. And we did make mention of the fact of how it has received its fulfillment in the era of salvation, courtesy of the finished work of Jesus Christ of Nazareth on the cross of Calvary. Suffice to note that it is necessary to understand that many a church has come out with erroneous beliefs. We have been able to point out some of these churches. We have looked at the Jezebelic churches, the Nicolaitanic churches, and now we are on the Balaamic churches. If you listen to the last clip before this one, you will admit to the fact that, truly speaking, the Word of God is real. The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and chapter 3, did lay emphasis on the various falling apart of the churches, and the core descriptions given to them was that of the Jezebel, Nicolaitan, and the Balaamic. Now, we did make mention of the fact that the word Balaamic is got from the word Balaam, and Balaam was a prophet in the Old Testament, and Jesus Christ used him to illustrate his point, to drive home his message, and also to indicate life and direct that there's a spirit with that name and that identity in this generation. And the reason why the spirit usurped the identity is for recognition, because it's the spirit that was able to deceive Balaam to disobey the Almighty. After he has been warned and he has been foretold of what to do, he went contrary-wise due to greed and avarice. And this spirit today has crept into churches and has garnered followership, and even have its own churches, church establishments that preach and believe and practice and operate in its spirit. And the spirit these Balaamic churches are operating on, of course, which is Balaamic, is all its leadership from the word Mammon. Mammon is a spirit that controls the issue of wealth, riches, money in the world today. So whenever you see a man going into the ministry to make it in life, he is under the control of Mammon. And when he eventually open a ministry, the ministry will be Balaamic in disposition, all because he is looking at it as an investment and to have returns eventually. You see, one of the mark of such ministries are, number one, the book of John chapter 2. The Bible made it clear to us in the latter verses, Jesus Christ, at that great day of the feast, he came, and to make whip out of cord, and he drove people out that were selling in the temple places, the exchangers of money, and it said, take these things hence, Make not my father's house a house of merchandise.